If you're new to our channel, we're Yvonne and Jeremy, and we're exploring Thailand.
Today, we take a day trip out of Bangkok to visit some of the most impressive ruins in the old capital of Ayutthaya. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a brand new day. Today we've hired a private driver to take us outside of Bangkok, about 75 kilometers away to the old capital of Ayutthaya. There are a number of different historical temples here, and this is a UNESCO World Heritage site. So we're excited to look at some of these ruins and explore some of the history and culture of this area. So Ayutthaya was actually named after the hometown of Rama in India. It was established in 1350 until 1767 when Burmese invaded this area, and some of the bricks were actually taken to later capitals, including Bangkok. So these ruins are actually remarkably well preserved. You can see the temple complex as well as the surrounding urban life, the cars, the sounds, the billboards, etc. This first site that we're at is Wat Yai Chaimongkhon, and it's suitable for visiting in the morning because a lot faces the east, and the sunlight hitting the structures in the morning makes it nice to enjoy and photograph. Another interesting thing about this particular temple is the sitting Buddhas that surround the entire temple structure, as well as a reclining Buddha that also faces the east.
Visiting these temples and ruins has been a very eye-opening and unique experience for me, especially as a Christian, because it gave me an opportunity to learn more about how Buddhism is very intertwined with Thai culture and history.
Now we're right outside of Wat Maha That, which is probably the most famous site here in Ayutthaya, and you're about to see why. So perhaps the most famous part of Wat Maha That is a Buddha head stuck between the roots of a Bodhi tree. If you take pictures with it, you're supposed to squat or kneel down so that you don't actually stand over the head of the Buddha. But no one knows exactly why the head got stuck between the trees. There's one urban legend about how some thieves came and tried to steal the image of the Buddha, stashed the head there among the trees, and forgot to come back for it. So over time, it just became incorporated in the tree. It's still a stunning image and perhaps the most iconic image in all of Ayutthaya. Wat Maha That is definitely my favorite temple ruin in Ayutthaya so far. There's just a lot to see, and you can see the Khmer influence in the architecture, and there's ample space to really walk around, especially during this post-COVID time period. There really aren't that many people out and about, so you can really enjoy these ruins in a relatively peaceful and quiet environment.
So far, this is probably my favorite site because everything is more intact and there are not a lot of people. So there are a lot of good photo opportunities here. The main pagoda is very intact and is really pretty. There are stairs on the 4 sides surrounding it that you can go up and get a better view of the surroundings. There are also carvings and statues all around that makes the structure very elaborate.
We've now moved on to Wat Lokaya Sutha, which features an image of a reclining Buddha that was restored in 1954. They actually couldn't find any evidence of when the temple itself was constructed, but because of architectural similarities with some of the other temples in the area, they hypothesized that it was constructed around the same time in the early Ayutthaya period. Our next stop is here at Wat Chai Wattana Ram, and you can clearly see the Khmer influence at this temple. There are some ladies dressed up in traditional Thai clothing. This temple was also built in the 1600s. According to the guides, this might be the most intact temple out of all of the different ruins in Ayutthaya. So we're gonna roam around and take a look at some of these structures. So the neat thing about this ruins complex is that the central pagoda is actually surrounded by 8 other spire towers, and you can actually walk through them. So we set out for Ayutthaya at 8:30 this morning and didn't get back to our Airbnb until 6 in the evening. But it was a really full day and just spectacular to see so many ruins, so many pieces of ancient Thai history that have survived until now. And this is really a world-class experience. I was just so impressed by how much of these ruins remain intact, and it just felt like a bargain to be able to view the different sites for 50 baht or less. I just thought it was so incredible that all of this is within 100 kilometers of Bangkok and that you can visit it on a day trip. Knee-length shorts were considered acceptable. I was thankful for that because it was super hot. I had brought pants just in case I needed to change into those. So for full details on our transportation, we negotiated with the driver to drive us to Ayutthaya, to drive us around within Ayutthaya, and to drive us back from Ayutthaya for 2,000 baht. So for the 3 of us, that was actually quite affordable. Other ways of going to visit Ayutthaya from Bangkok on a day trip would be to take a train or to take a bus, and those would definitely be more affordable. You could get all the way to Ayutthaya and then rent a bicycle for 50 baht a day, or try to find a taxi driver there that will take you around. For the record, our driver also turned on the meter the whole time, so we were able to see that even leaving the meter on the whole time, it would have only come out to 2,500 baht. And with that, we're gonna end our video on our short time in Ayutthaya. Definitely If you come to Bangkok, if you come to Thailand, don't miss this. This is definitely one of the top days that we had here, and we hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.